Imagine this, you're standing on a lonely, wind-battered island surrounded by a raging sea. Behind you looms a lighthouse, built to guide sailors to safety in treacherous waters, but as you approach the structure, you notice something is wrong. No one comes out to greet you. The flagpole is bare, and the very air feels heavy with dread. This is Eilean Mor, the largest uninhabited rock in the Flannan Isles of Scotland, and in December of 1900, 3 lighthouse keepers vanished without explanation. What happened to them remains one of the most eerie maritime mysteries of all time. December 26, 1900 was supposed to be a routine day for Captain James Harvey and the crew of the relief vessel Hesperus. Their job was to resupply the Eilean Mor Lighthouse and rotate out its keepers, Thomas Marshall, James Duckett and Donald MacArthur. But as the ship neared the island, the first signs of trouble became apparent. The lighthouse flagpole, which should have displayed the station's flag, was bare, a breach of protocol. The landing dock, typically bustling with activity during supply runs, was completely deserted. There were no keepers in sight and no sign of life. Concerned, Harvey sounded the ship's horn and fired a flare, but the island remained deathly silent. Harvey ordered one of his men, Joseph Moore, to row ashore and investigate. Climbing the steep, rocky path to the lighthouse, Moore felt an unshakable sense of dread. When he reached the front door, he found it locked. After forcing his way inside, what he discovered would haunt him for the rest of his life. The interior of the lighthouse was eerily pristine. The beds were made, the lamps were clean, and the clock on the wall had stopped ticking. Most unsettling of all was the kitchen table. It was set for a meal, but the food remained untouched, as though the keepers had been interrupted mid-bite. Moore noticed that one of the oilskins, a heavy coat worn for protection against the elements, was missing, but the other 2 hung neatly on their pegs. This suggested that one keeper had gone outside, leaving the others inside. Yet all 3 men were gone. Returning to the ship, Moore relayed the disturbing findings to Captain Harvey, who immediately notified the Northern Lighthouse Board. An investigation was launched, but the deeper authorities dug into the mystery, the stranger it became. A search of the lighthouse uncovered a logbook written by Thomas Marshall, the second assistant keeper. The entries revealed a chilling progression of events. December 12, 1900, Marshall described a severe storm unlike anything he had ever seen. He noted that James Duckett, the head keeper, was unusually quiet, while Donald MacArthur, a seasoned seaman known for his toughness, was crying. December 13th, 1900. The storm persisted, and Marshall wrote that all 3 men had been praying. This was unusual, as the keepers were not particularly religious. December 15th, 1900. The final entry read, "Storm ended, sea calm, God is over all." Here's the twist. Weather records from the mainland indicated that the weather on December 12th and 13th had been calm, with no storms reported in the area. So what had the keepers experienced that was so terrifying? So what happened? Over the years, countless theories have been proposed to explain the disappearance of the Eilean Mor Lighthouse keepers. Here are the most compelling. 1. The rogue waiver theory is the most widely accepted explanation. It suggests that one keeper went outside to secure equipment during a storm, leaving the lighthouse door unlocked. Evidence of this was the western landing area showed signs of heavy damage. Rails were bent and equipment was scattered. The missing oilskin also indicated one man had gone out. Perhaps when he failed to return, the other 2 ventured out to help, only to be swept away by a massive wave. But this issue with this theory is, why would all 3 men leave the lighthouse at the same time when protocol required one to stay behind? Another theory was due to madness. People believed the isolation and the harsh conditions of lighthouse life could have driven one or more of the keepers to madness. The strange behavior described in the log, Duckett's silence, MacArthur's tears and their collective praying, suggests psychological stress. Could a violent argument have escalated, leading to one or more men being thrown into the sea? Or did paranoia drive them to make irrational decisions? Other theories included abduction and supernatural causes, as the Flannan Isles were steeped in folklore. Locals believed the islands were inhabited by spirits or little people who jealously guarded their land. Some suggest the keepers were taken by these entities, while others point to the cryptic final log entry, "God is over all," as evidence of a supernatural encounter. The abduction theory posits that the men were taken by pirates or smugglers. Alternatively, they may have staged their own disappearance to escape the harsh life of a lighthouse keeper. But there's no evidence of foul play, and none of the men were ever seen again. The disappearance of the Eilean Mor Lighthouse keepers remains one of Scotland's greatest unsolved mysteries. The story has inspired books, songs and films, and the lighthouse itself has become a symbol of eerie isolation. In the years since, lighthouse technology has advanced and many stations are now automated, eliminating the need for keepers. But even with modern technology, the sea remains as a reminder of how small and fragile we are in the face of nature and the forces that may have claimed the lives of Marshall, Duckett and MacArthur. So what do you think? Could the rogue wave theory explain it all, or is there more to the story? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.